I guess to get into Peppa Pig Park, you gotta turn like you're going into Sonic. Here in North Richland Hills, Texas, it's a suburb of Fort Worth. You have the water park, NRH2O, right next door. This is a Legoland property, or whoever the parent company of Legoland is also over this. If you've been to Florida's Legoland, you know that Peppa Pig Park is a separate gate in the same complex. But here, it is free parking. This is a fairly new theme park. So I'm not sure what we had here before. I think it was some kind of family entertainment center. And now we got Peppa Pig theme park. If you buy it online in advance, you'll save money. I waited till I got here, so it was $46 with tax. That's an expensive coaster credit. That kind of thing doesn't really bother me anymore. I just pay what it costs, and you know what? I'm helping contribute to the theme parks wherever I'm at. I would rather give my money to the theme parks than to like things like hotels or expensive restaurants. So I eat in the car, find ways to not need hotels. Daddy Pig's roller coaster. From what I've heard, this is basically a clone of the one in Florida. It might be an exact clone. The layout and the theming in the queue. I remember I really like the queue here. Even though I'm not really familiar with the theme that much, it is still cool. It is not a big park. There's not a lot of rides. For us coaster enthusiasts, this is probably the only thing we're gonna do. And yeah, it looks like the theming is the same as in Florida.
I'm going to give your friends a ride in our car. Everybody ready?
And there's no wait for the roller coaster. A lot of cars in the parking lot. This will be my first new credit of the year. So by default, it's gonna be my favorite new coaster credit of the year. Doing the balloon ride for the views. I did 5 laps on Daddy Pig's coaster and checked out their little show. Obviously, as coaster enthusiasts, aren't gonna have a whole lot to do here, but it's still cool to kind of take a look at everything. And everything is really well done, very well themed, just like the one in Florida. Now the difference here is that parking is free. Parking at the one in Florida is also the Legoland parking, and that was $25 for me back in 2022. Parking here is still free. And I think I'll go ahead and head over to Six Flags Over Texas. They're actually open today, but it's a student day, so it's gonna be super packed. So that's it from Peppa Pig theme park. It was nice to make this stop, check it out. You can get a coaster credit, and it's still cool to walk around and take a look at everything. It is really well done. If you have little kids that are into Peppa Pig, they'll love it. So if you're in the area this summer, you can do Peppa Pig theme park, get a coaster credit, and do NRH2O, get a water coaster credit. And I heard that there is a new Malibu Jacks that's going to be opening sometime soon right around this area. So you'll be able to get another coaster credit there. They'll have an SBS spinner. And if you haven't been to Alley Cats, you can do that too. You could probably do all 4 places in one day. I'm glad I chose to do Peppa Pig Park today. There were a couple options. I could have done it today, Friday, or I could have done it on Monday. That would have required doing an extra hotel night, which of course would have cost more money. I know if you've seen my videos, I got ways around hotels, but not when it's gonna be hot at night, and Sunday night's gonna be like 75 for a low. On something like that with my setup, I do have to get a hotel, because that's just too hot. The reason why today was the better day to do Peppa Pig Park was not only because of saving on the hotel, I'll be able to just drive straight home on Sunday night, but also because there really was no reason to come to Six Flags Over Texas today. On these education days when the park closes at 5, they have very few rides open. What is open is going to have long waits, and they close the queue lines early to make sure they can get everyone out of here by 5. Mr. Freeze's line was closed extra early. Runaway Mountain's line was completely clear a half hour beforehand, but yet they weren't letting anyone else in. Ride was not broken. They just weren't letting anyone else in to make sure they didn't get backed up. But that's okay, because these are kind of unusual days, and I understand them doing things quite different on these days, especially when they don't have nearly as many staff, because a lot of their staff are in school on those days. Peppa Pig Park, back to that, they do operate on a lot of school days. Currently, they only are closed on Tuesday and Wednesday, so Monday, Thursday, Friday, they're open, even if it's a school day. A lot of their target audience haven't reached school age yet, so it kind of makes sense. And that's always open 9 to 5, but that is an option. You want to get that coaster credit on an off day, that would be the time to do it.